Okay, so again, hello, I'm Mickey, I'm a sales partner, and I want to talk with you about our business model, about our strategy, and to inspire you a little bit, and to give you the reason to do exactly the same thing that we did. We started almost 4 years ago. And I want to start with a strategy, and the competition is not fierce yet. There is enough demand, and you can supply services and products for that demand. And this is exactly what's happening in Turkey. I made some research a few days ago before we came here, and I read some articles about the Turkish economy, that it's booming and it's growing, especially the online industry in Turkey. More and more people in Turkey are getting online and they buying products, they starting the sales process online. I read some amazing facts, like you see right here on the board, that 20 biggest e-commerce website in Turkey grew in 60% since October 2010. I'm not sure, but I think that Turkey, the online industry in Turkey, is the fastest growing industry in the world. And the question is, what you guys gonna do about it? I mean, that's the right, sorry? I mean, that's the place to be exactly at the moment. The revolution here is taking place right now. And I think it's a huge opportunity for you that you must take advantage of. I want to give you some example. When I made the research, I used Google Translate because my Turkish is not so good, as you probably understand. I used Google Translate and I used Google's tools such as Keyword Tool and Preview Tool to see the ads that's shown on Google in Turkey. And I found that search term, it's some kind of construction loans, right? Some kind of that. And it's being searched, keep in mind, more than 350,000 searches every month in Turkey. Now, the cost per click, it's in shekels, that's the Israeli currency, but the Turkish lira is about twice, so the cost per click, the average cost per click at the moment for that search term is about 0.75 Turkish lira. And how many advertisers do you think advertise on that search term? How many do you think? Well, only 6. What does that mean? There's almost no competition. Just for giving you a perspective, the same search term in United Kingdom, in England, the cost per click is about 10 times more, and there are 70 competitors want to show their ad on the same search term. So there's a huge demand. People go in Turkey to Google and search for services and products, and the supply is very low right now. Okay, so keep that in mind. I like that example. It really reflects the numbers I showed before. So, in continuity to what Asaf showed you before, I'm sure that there are many, many clients, like bankers, mortgage brokers, okay? And so many businesses that you can make them happy. And they even don't realize it. They need you to tell them that, and they need you to take them hand by hand and give them the results. Provide them an excellent return on investment, and you can earn many reliable clients, and you can create many long-term relationships with new clients and make them an astonishing client that will provide you an excellent lifetime, customer lifetime value, as Asaf showed you before. So let's talk about how can I make Google AdWords my money-making machine. So the first thing that you should do, and I know it sounds a cliche, and personally I don't like cliches so much, but that's the way it is. You have to set yourself goals. Where you want to be, what kind of business you want to have. Okay, what kind of life do you want to have? Okay, guys, we're talking about serious stuff. Each and every one of you can and should have an extraordinary life. Like, look at Asaf and I, we have a great business, a system that runs itself almost. We allow ourselves to travel the world, and we make decent money, and we enjoy life, okay? And if you smart enough to know Google AdWords, to be certified, and you know HTML, and you know to build website, it means that you're smart enough and you're sophisticated, and the fact that you came here and you stayed here by now, it's almost 4 o'clock, since 9 o'clock in the morning, it means that you want to do that. You're willing to take the effort, to put the effort. So set yourself goals, because you know Alice in Wonderland? You know that movie here in Turkey? Okay, you remember the part that Alice came to the cat and she asked him, "Dear cat," I don't remember the name of the cat exactly, but she asked him, "Which path should I choose?" So the cat asked her, "It depends. Where you want to go?" So she told him, "I don't know yet." So he told him, "It doesn't matter. If you don't know yet, every path you will choose, it will be the same. It doesn't matter." So don't be Alice in Wonderland. Imagine exactly where you want to be a year from now and 3 years from now. And I know it sounds a cliche, but that's the way it works. The human psychology works like that. When you don't have a specific goals, then it's like entering a dark room with your eyes covered and you're just shooting darts and arrows to all the direction without knowing where you're aiming or if you hit the target. You might be lucky, but it's exactly like filling a lottery card. Okay, so don't trust your luck. Okay, set goals and make a plan. And try to determine where you're going to be in a year from now, and so on. Create short-term goals and long-term goals. And I recommend, there are many books about achieving goals and growing business-wise and personally. And we read a lot of books, but Asaf and I, but the most recommended books I can tell you, and I'm sure that many of you know those books already. The most famous one is Think and Grow Rich. You can get it online in Turkish, of course, written by Napoleon Hill. Great book. It was written more than 150 years ago, but the methods are just the same. Another amazing book, it's called The Answer. Okay, it was written by John Assaraf about 3 years ago, I think it was published. Another really great book, changed my perspective and Asaf's as well. And a very famous series of books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know that book? Not yet? It's a great book. It's a series of books, and it talks about how to grow your business, how to sell better, how to get the right skills and the right approach to grow your business. So really recommend to read those books. And for now on, what you should do today in the evening, you should set yourself the short-term goals, okay? Such as, I want to upsell 40% of my existing clients by this quarter, by the next quarter, by Q4, or gain 5 to 10 new clients, or create additional, you can set a number, I want to create an additional 1,000 euros by the end of this quarter. And if you will do that, the worst case that can happen that you will hit a bit lower, but at least you have a goal. And set achievable goals so you could get them. Another very important thing that you must do if you haven't done it by now is becoming an expert. And maybe you already realize that I really like movies. One very famous movie is Karate Kid. You know this movie? You saw this movie in Turkey? Okay, you remember Mr. Miyagi? He was a mentor, right? He was the authority to karate. I want you guys to be the Miyagi of Google AdWords. Because people are following mentors. People are following professional people. So if you're not a professional yet, so you should become one. And how you can become a professional? You can read books or ebooks about Google AdWords. Have you heard about Perry Marshall? Anyone here read his book? A great book. Another great book for Google AdWords called Google Cache. There's updated versions of those books. You can participate forums. I know there's a top contributor here, sits here in the audience. This guy over there, top contributor, right? Participate forums. It's a great idea. You can go to seminars or online seminars, webinars, and learn more. Really, guys, it's endless. And of course, you can go over all the Learning Center, the Google AdWords Learning Center, and get certified if you're not certified yet. Okay? Getting certified, Google Certified Partner, is very important. For me, for instance, I put my Google Certified Partner logo on my business card. And wherever I go, I give my card. I do always, and I recommend you to do the same. People see that logo, that Google Certified Partner, and they start asking questions. What does that mean? And how did you become Google's partner? And so on and so on. And that puts you in a whole different light than other SEMs, website builders, and so on and so on. So get certified. It's very important, and it's not that difficult. So I spoke about webinars. Now, when you already became the Mr. Miyagi of Google AdWords, you should let the whole world know that you're an expert. I know many very professional people, SEMs in Israel, but they're very shy. Now, being shy is not good for your wallet. If you won't be shy, trust me, you will make more money. And you can use the whole people you know. You can upload material, pictures to Google+. I'm doing actually the same. Asaf, can you take a picture of me? Thank you very much. What do you think I'm going to do with that picture? Melissa, these guys are quiet. Okay, you heard about Google+? You heard about Facebook? I'm sorry, Googlers. What can you do? Okay? I have thousands of friends all together on Facebook, and I upload pictures of my business, of seminars I do, of all the company goes to a party, we take pictures and we upload them just to create a buzz, to make people notice that we are there, we are all focused on Google AdWords, and we are the most professional team, the most professional search engine marketing company, and trust me, it works very well. So don't be shy. Always take a business card. talk to people about Google. I went to buy a new entrance door to my apartment. It was 3.5 years ago. After I signed the deal, I gave the checks. I asked, okay, who's the manager here? They told me, over there in that door. I went to that door, I gave him a card, and from them till now, that's one of our biggest clients, the biggest door manufacturer in Israel. They spend, I think, more than $20,000 a month on Google AdWords, and we provide other services to them. It's another example. I bought flight tickets to Thailand. It was 2 years ago. The same. After I paid, I asked, where's the boss? Who's the manager? They told me, on that door over there. I came to the door. What's wrong with you? You're not on Google yet? I checked on my iPhone. You're not on Google. I searched flight tickets to Thailand. You're not here. What's wrong with you? No, I'm yada, yada, yada. 2 days later is our client, and again, spends a lot of money. Of course, we provide him excellent results and great return on investment. Let's talk about the clients that you want to work with. And again, I want to emphasize that you want to create long-term relationship with client that will pay you enough money that both sides will enjoy that relationship. It's have to be a win-win situation. Okay? And by remembering that, let's see what kind of clients out there. And I'm not talking about the kind of industry, because I believe, actually I know, that you can generate great results for any kind of business. Because there is nothing that is not being searched on Google these days. You can check it on Google Keyword Tool, trust me. So I wanted to divide the whole market to groups by the size of the businesses. And we have the big corporations, enterprises, we have the small, medium businesses, and we have the micro businesses. And we recommend you to start your focus on the small, medium businesses. And I'll explain you why. By the way, I've been told that in Turkey, there are 2.3 million small, medium businesses. That's amazing. And there are only 200 people over here in that room. Okay, so there's a lot of work for everybody. Okay, basically it's endless. In Israel, we have, I think, 3 times more agencies, SEMs. It's crazy, okay? But there are only 300,000, Asaf, how much? 300,000 SMBs in Israel. You have here 2.3 million. Amazing. So, the thing that I like on small, medium businesses is, as I mentioned, there's a lot of them. And they have sufficient budgets to work with. Okay? It's very important. It's easier to get the decision maker. You know what I'm talking about, right? And of course, you have to think about your business. You want to have a lot of clients, a lot of relationships, and it's easy to manage a lot of them. Compared to, let's talk about cooperation. And I don't mean that having a big enterprise as your client is a bad thing. It's a good thing. But if you're doing your first steps right now, you should consider the fact that there is a lot of red tape, bureaucracy. The selling process for those kind of businesses is way longer. It's harder to get the decision maker, the person that will say, okay, let's start. And the competition is strong, and you're competing with the big advertising firms, and it's not so easy, especially at your beginning. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can definitely provide them consultation service at the beginning. It's way easier to put your foot on the doorstep and then continue from that point and on. Asaf spoke about it. Let's talk about the micro businesses, and that's a big, huge lesson. It took us years, Asaf and I, to realize that working with too small clients is bad for your business. You have to ask yourself all the time, what kind of that client is? Is it a new business? Does he have a sufficient budget for me to test keywords, test ad variations, test different landing pages, okay? You are professionals, you're not a magicians, okay? You need a sufficient budget to work with. And above all, you need to get paid. What can you do? That's what you're here for, right? Don't be shy. So ask yourself, is the business is too small for me right now? Is it a new business? Is that business is steady? Okay, because it's a little bit absurd, but usually the small clients that want you to advertise them for, I don't know, for 200 Turkish liras, you know those clients? Usually they are the clients that will call you 3 times a day. I don't see my ad, I do see my ads, no phone calls, yes phone calls, and so on and so on and so on. You don't necessarily want to be there. Okay? Try to find those businesses that you see the potential over there. Okay. Now, when I talk about numbers, I always, and I don't know why, all over the world, when I talk about numbers, people look at me with, funny look, and they think to themselves, this man is a little bit crazy. How much he charge? And I want to ask you a question. Do you have lawyers in Turkey? Yes? Do you have accountants in Turkey? CPAs? How much does a lawyer charge for an hour? How much? 100 euros? Too much, of course. 100 euros? Something like that? Why should you charge less? I mean, when you think about it, how many things you know? You know to build websites, you know to design them, you know HTML, you know Google AdWords, and above all, you know how to bring business. You know how to bring new clients. In other words, you're the most important service provider for that business. Can you think about something more important than bringing the business new clients? So why, I don't understand, why should you charge less than a lawyer, for example? Okay? When you look at yourself at the mirror, you should respect yourself as a professional that provides the most important service to that business. If you respect yourself, and when you, like this small kitty, when you look at the mirror, you will see a big lion, then your whole business will be different. Trust me. So, again, also when you appreciate yourself, the others will do the same. So, try to find the right business that you can see the potential and you see the long-term relationship with them. Let's talk a little bit about the packages or the services that we provide. And the numbers, as you will see in a minute, can be differentiated from country to country. But I'm here. I've been to Turkey a few times, and I've been to Istanbul. We came 2 days ago. I don't think that the numbers, from what I feel, what I see, people I spoke with about, I don't think that the numbers should be much different than Israel. So let's see, the most important service are, of course, AdWords account management. So we always charge a setup fee. And why do we charge a setup fee? Because there is a lot of work, a lot of effort we are putting before we start launching the campaign. such as meeting to get to know the business, get to know the industry, make market analysis. Okay? We prepare a work plan. Get our client educated, right? Our client needs to know how it works, what he's paying for. Okay? Daily budgets. The ad is showing and that time and that time. You have to determine everything. You have to create a business concept or a unique selling point. Not just launching a campaign, for 20 minutes and that's it, we are all in the air. Don't do that. And of course, keyword research, and in the end, you open the new account and you build the campaigns, you set the keywords and the ads and everything. That's a lot of effort. If you do it right, and you should charge money for that. So that's the management fee, and for the ongoing campaign management, we charge a monthly fee that it depends on how much the client spends on Google AdWords every month. And mind that there is a minimum. For those smaller budgets, let's say if the client wants to spend on a specific month only 100 euros, that's okay. You have the right to do that. But in order to give him service, to provide him the service, and answer his phone calls, and manage the campaign, you gotta work, right? So there's a minimum management fee that we charge every month, and for bigger budgets, we charge, that metrics show the percentage that we charge as a management fee as for every kind of budgets. Another important service that also bring us more money, streams of income, and helps us to get better results for the campaign are landing pages, banners, of course, for Google Display Network campaigns. We build almost for every new campaign, every new account, a set of landing pages. Because from our experience, landing pages work much better than regular websites. Okay, their conversion rate might be higher as 300%, 400%. So landing pages and banners is a very important service that we provide. And of course, consultation. Maybe if you see that the business is a bit too small right now to manage his account, you can give him consultation service regarding technical issues, account analysis, copywriting, and creative. Okay? And of course, you can offer consultation service for the big, almighty enterprises. Okay? Usually, it's harder for them to make the decision to give you the campaign, the account to manage. You can start with consultation. Many of our big clients, we started providing them consultation. We created a relationship. They learned to trust us, and they saw that we are Mr. Miyagi of Google AdWords, right? So then they decided to let us the whole account to manage for the whole month. By the way, about the fees for consultation, we spoke about, remember the lawyer? Okay, so we charge between 100 to 100 and something, 120, 130 euros per an hour. The minimum is 2 hours because there's not much you can do for 1 hour. So the minimum package is 2 hours and 5 hours and 12 hours. Okay? Okay, let's talk about how to sell your services, how to gain new clients. And a very famous method that I know from a lot of SEMs in Israel and in other places in the world is this. Remember that method? It's not such a good system anymore. We used to do that. And I'm sure that many of you are doing the same. Waiting for phone calls, waiting for people to ask you, are you willing to manage my campaign? So don't do that anymore. You have to be active in the process to gain new clients. And as I told you before, there are many of them in Turkey right now waiting for you to call them. And many of them, I think even most of them, don't even realize what they're missing if they're not, don't advertise on Google yet. So you can, as I did, use Google Translate to locate potential keywords with good opportunity. You can do the same. You can think about other industries, keywords, etc., etc. I'm sure you can do a much, much better job than me. Another example of getting new clients is, another method is to advertise yourself. You want to guess where? On Google. I found that search term, okay, marketing strategy in Turkish. Don't have no idea how to pronounce it, don't ask me. But I know that it's being searched more than 4,000 searches in a month. Now, the click cost about half Turkish lira, okay, pennies. And how many advertisers do you think advertise on that search term in Turkey? You want to guess? You're right. 0 advertisers don't advertise on that search term. So I guess that will be different after today. I hope so. Okay? But you speak Turkish, and you can spend more than 5 minutes, like I did, and to reach different niches and search terms and find the right clients that looking for your services and they can't find no one yet. Okay, so you can use Google AdWords to advertise yourself. I'm sure that the person who looks for marketing strategy, the first strategy that I will recommend him to do is what? Advertise on Google AdWords. Okay? I don't have to pitch Google AdWords. If you're here, so you know that that's the first thing that you should do, right? And there's the rest of the world out there. How many of you people have a computer with internet connection? How many of you? Come on, raise your hands. Only 50%. No, I'm joking. How many of you speak other language than Turkish? Great, congratulations. You can work with businesses in other places in the world. And I give you an example to how you can use that ability. You know that tool, Google Global Market Finder, or Google Experting Tools? You know those tools? You heard about them? Okay, here's a thing. I've been to Turkey 4 times by now, and almost every time I buy a leather jacket. A leather jacket. I love leather jacket, and I know that you can find great ones in Turkey. It's a whole industry. It's a big exporting industry that Turkey is good in, right? So I searched the term leather jacket, in Turkish of course, and in a few seconds and 2 clicks, I got that list of how many searches being made for that search term in the domestic language all over the world, such as Brazil, United States, England, and so on and so on. Look how many searches, and look how can you find opportunities. Look at Brazil. Many people over there look for leather jackets, and the cost per click is ridiculous. You can find a business that manufactures leather jacket and offer him an amazing opportunity. Another thing is that I searched how many people abroad, all over the world, searching for a solution that you provide here in Turkey, such as marketing in Turkey, advertising in Turkey, and so on and so on. So there are approximately 30,000 searches being made all over the world, and that column is only the States, okay? 500 people search for marketing in Turkey and advertising in Turkey in the United States. And how many advertisers do you think they see over there? 6 of them, I'm sorry, 5. It's 5? No. Yeah, 6 advertisers, and none of them is relevant. So you can find people, businesses out of Turkey that need your services in Turkey. Okay, it's another example. You have to be creative. I mean, you're smart, be sophisticated. Think outside of the box, where you can and how you can use that amazing system to bring you new clients. Okay? And the situation, it's not so competitive such as in other countries. Okay, the cost per click for those search terms in Israel, for example, might reach to 15, even 20 Turkish liras per click. Okay, the situation is way further than that. It's much, much cheaper. And as I mentioned before, you can always call new businesses. Okay, you can call new businesses that you find the opportunity for them. You can check if they're online yet or not, if they have a website or if they don't have a website. Think of who you can call and what you can offer him. And once you already, before that, use your network connection world. Okay, I gave you a few examples before. Wherever I go, I give my business cards and I create a conversation. And I let everybody that I speak with, I let them know that I do Google AdWords, I do SEM, and I think that by now 30 to 40% of the incoming leads that we have are from networking. And we encourage our existing clients to ask people to call us, people who needs our services. And when a client refer another client to a new client to our company, that's almost a done deal. Keep that in mind. So use your networking, your friends, your family, the whole world that surrounds you to bring new clients. It's very, very important. Okay, once you already have a lead, you set a meeting, what do? You have to prepare yourself. Don't just go, take your laptop, search a little bit before, see the website and so on for 2.5 minutes and go to the meeting. Don't do that. Because that's what 99% of the SEMs do. Don't be the same. Remember that you are a professional. So, of course, you have to check the website thoroughly. Learn the industry, learn the products. See what he's already doing on Google. If he have any presence, what's his rank on the search, on the organic results? Does he advertise on Google AdWords yet or not? What's his strategy? Does he have a unique selling point, or he offers just the same as his all competitors? Usually that's what happens. Okay, so if that's the situation, you should think before you meet him for an idea. Show him that you are creative. You can also visit websites that deal at the same industry, sell the same product or services in the United States, for example, or in UK. Many businesses over there are very sophisticated and they have experience, and you can get many ideas, not to copy idea, but to get ideas and suggest them to your new potential client. You should also get to know the competitors. Oh, and trust me, clients, new advertisers love to talk about their competition. You know what I'm talking about, right? When you show your new potential client that you know the competition, you're aware of the competition, and you have idea to beat the competition, trust me, it's 50% done deal. So learn the competition, see who's relevant, see who's leading the industry, see whose his ad or his website showed again and again on many search terms. You have to know all that. And when you come to the meeting, don't do the mistake that many salespeople do. They talk. You don't necessarily have to talk all the time. You have to listen to understand what motivates the client. What is wants and needs? What is goals? Is he return on investment oriented, or is more motivated by his ego? He wants to see his ad and website always at the first result. Okay, you have to know that. You have to listen and let him talk and find what he wants or need. Okay, and you will always hear things that will help you close the deal. So let him talk, listen. You don't have to talk all the time. Make a keyword research. Make a screenshot of the keyword research that you made on the Google keyword tool. Make a screenshot and print it. Do the same with Google Insights. You know Google Insights? Google Trends? You know that tool? Amazing tool. Okay? Imagine that you come to your meeting with that. You have to understand that doing those things makes you in a whole different light than all the rest SEMs. He will understand that you are something else, that you are a whole different story. You're a professional in a different level, and he will want to work with you, not because you're cheaper. People don't care about that. They want results, and they want to work with professionals, the serious professional people. Okay, let's talk about upselling existing clients. You have clients, right? Right? You have clients? You have people. Who have clients here? Who have more than 10 clients? More than 10 clients. Okay, most of the people here. So let's talk about how can you upsell your existing clients, because that's the easiest thing to do. They already know you, they already trust you. How can you, or what can you upsell them after you call them? You can offer them, except if you already run a Google AdWords campaign, a classic search campaign, you can offer them a media campaign, to run a campaign on a Google display network. You know what is that? You know? The ads, Google ads that appear on websites. A great idea to start from there. Okay? Banners to use for the Google display network, and remarketing. You know what's remarketing? You know what it is? It's an amazing tool that allows the advertiser to show his ad for the same user who visited his website by implementing a cookie on his computer. Then he will see the ads of the same advertiser again. The impact is amazing. But above that, more important than the impact of the remarketing, always when I sit down with clients and I want to show them how it works, they are astonished. I enter a website of one of our advertisers, who we run a remarketing campaign for him, and then I go to other websites such as YouTube, and he immediately sees the ads of the same website. He's amazed. And it's amazing tool to generate new sales and campaigns. Mobile advertising, I can speak about mobile for 4 hours, trust me, and it won't be enough. Mobile is not the future. Mobile is the present. It's already here, all over the world. And I know that many people in Turkey have smartphones. You can also attach another screenshot of the searches being made by smartphones, and tablets. Sorry, I forgot the word. Okay, you can screen it by the keyword tool. You can see how many searches being made by mobile devices and show it to the client. Listen, 10,000 people looking for that specific search term, but 1,500 more are searching on mobile devices, and it's much easier and much cheaper to generate leads because you have advanced features like click to call and so on and so on. So that's today, it's a must. When it comes to us, we always offer an additional mobile campaign. And as always, we offer landing pages and mobile websites also that adapted to a small screen such as iPhone or Samsung Galaxy and so on and so on. So there are many ideas for upselling existing clients. Very important, and you can do that tomorrow morning. So guys, I'm about to end, and I want to speak about a few more things. And there's a very famous saying in Hebrew, and it goes like, you can take the horse to the water, but you cannot force him to drink. Okay? So we are all horses. And sometimes you want to drink and sometimes you don't want to drink, but everything is up to you. The huge opportunity is out there. You can always tell yourself excuses for not doing that or doing that. Okay, but remember that everything is up to you. You're the master for yourself. And there's a very famous disease also. It's called analysis paralysis. You heard that disease? It attacks a lot of SEM companies, SEM people. Okay, it's sitting and thinking and analyzing and not doing any action. So sometimes it attacks me also, but until now I'm very aware of that phenomena. So I always try to avoid it. And when I find myself sitting and thinking of what to do and how to do and what I did wrong and what I did good and I failed there and I did that and so on and so on and so on, I stop and I doing something to get me going forward. Okay, so as the Nike famous advertising, how does it go? Just do it. So just do it. Don't think too much. Try. Because, you know, we came here today and we spoke about our success. We didn't speak about our failures. Because if we will speak about our failures, we'll need 5 hours. Because most of the time, Asaf and I fails. We fail all the time. You have to fail in order to succeed. And I know it sounds a cliche, but that's the way it is. Most of the meetings I go to meet new clients, I know that I'm not going to get a deal. I know that. But I know that every time that I try will get me closer to the next new client. I think I'm down. And Asaf will join me for your questions. First of all, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. And I'll be happy to answer, Asaf and I will be happy to answer your questions. Let me first put the handset. Let's see if it works. Yes, yes, I can hear. Not yet. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, guys, questions? Yes, please, over there.
This is Serdar Kaya from Istanbul. I would like to ask...
Hold on a second.
No, I think it's yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I would like, first of all, I would like to thank and appreciate your presentation to motivate and encourage me. And then I would like to know what is the most difficult issue or problem you don't want to hear about it. For example, one of your customers called you and said, Asaf or Mike, I have this problem, and you say no. Again, I hated this problem. What is it and how you solve it?
What is the most common problem that you...
Most common problem that we have. Sometimes before, can you hear me? Sometimes before we get a new client, usually they ask us, can you promise to give us phone calls? And 3 years ago, it was hard to promise. I mean, we said that we'll do as much as we can, but we can't promise that the landing page will convert for phone calls, although in 99% of the time it did convert. But since 2.5 years ago that Google released the click-to-call option, when we have a new client and he's saying, I'm not sure I'm willing to start working with you because I want you to promise me that I'll get phone calls from prospective clients, then we have an answer for him now. And the answer is, let's start with a click-to-call only campaign. You'll start receiving some phone calls. And after that, when you'll be happy and you'll see that you're getting leads and you're generating money out of it, you'll be happy to expand your campaign and have a desktop campaign as well, and maybe buy a landing page for mobile and for the desktop, and try the Google Display Network and remarketing, and we try to upsell, but just to begin the connection with him, we offer him, let's try and start with only click-to-call campaign.
One more thing that is very common complaint is that clients, advertisers, they claim that they don't get enough leads or they don't generate enough sales. Now, when we hear that, we always test the method or how the client tracks the result. I mean, we ask the client, is every phone call monitored or documented somewhere? Does he use a CRM? You know what CRM? CRM, client relationship management system, some kind of that? Okay, because many clients, especially the smaller ones, and small medium businesses also, they don't track the results as well as they should. And they get a lot of phone calls that they don't answer, and after they don't know how to manage a selling process. Okay, so we check the process deeply through all the phases, because in 99%, the problem is not in Google AdWords. The problem is with the client.
Or with his sales force. We had a few examples that the salesmen of the business were just very, very bad. It took them days to go back to the leads that they got, and they didn't do a follow-up, and they didn't send the proposal on time. And something was wrong, but as Mickey said, not in the AdWords campaign, but in something else in the funnel. And in this case, it was the salesman. And when we check these things with the clients, we sometimes get insights that maybe the salesman that he's having now is not good enough. And sometimes it's the client himself. He's the salesman. And we tell him, listen, you're not doing a good job as a salesman, and maybe you should hire one. And we are not business consultant. We usually try to refer him to a few business consultants that we work with. And sometimes it does make the difference. Sometimes the problem, as Mickey said, is not on Google AdWords. Usually.
Most of the time.
We'll put the headset and you'll think about a question.
Please, any questions? I'm begging you. I'm joking. Yes, please.
Temmuz from Istanbul. And what is the average length of the contract that you sign with your clients? Like annual contract you make
No.
with the new clients, or pay as you go, or what is the deal?
What we do is we tell them that the contract is for as long as they stop it. I mean, they don't have to stay with us for a year. They start with us and they can stop it at any moment. That's make it easier for our sales team to sell the deals.
It's much easier.
And in 99% of the times, they continue to work with us because we generate good results, and it does motivate us to do a really good job at the beginning, and we want our customers to be happy. And that's why most of our incoming leads today are from spread of mouth. I mean, happy customers bring us more customers. And another tip that I can give you is that ask your customers to bring you more customers, and you'll give them 1 month for free for the customer that brought you other customers.
Referrals.
For referrals.
But in addition to what Asaf mentioned, it's very important to generate quick results, but you have to make the right expectations. Okay, I will tell that again. You're not magicians. You're not David Copperfield, you know, this big magician from Las Vegas. You have a learning curve. Okay, you experience, it's like starting a journey. And you have a learning curve, you have to test different keywords, and the client must know and realize that there is a startup fee budget that he have to spend in order to reach that point that his return on investment will be very high. But it doesn't necessarily have to occur at the first day that you launch the campaign.
Yeah.
Çalışıyor mu? Ha, şimdi çalışıyor. Benim sormak istediğim şey şu. Başarıyı göstermek çok önemli yaptığınız kampanyada. Ama demin click to call özelliğini kullanan müşterilerin CRM'i olmadığı için bunu takip edemediğini söylediniz. O kampanyaların, yani yeni başlayan firmaların kampanyalarının başarılı olduğunu göstermek için bulduğunuz yöntemler var mı? Raporlar var mı? Ya da nasıl anlatıyordunuz başarılı olduğunu? Ki ikna olmayanlar vardır, onları nasıl ikna ediyordunuz? O rakamların başarılı rakamlar olduğuna.
If we're using, I hope I got your question good, understood, but if they are using click to call, then we do have all the number of calls that they have monitorized. And we can tell them, you know, you got in the last month 40 calls, 50 calls, 60 calls, and they usually don't have a problem if you show them the numbers. If you have conversion tracking, it's easier to show the clients that here you got 50 leads, you got 30 phone calls. The problem is usually when you're working with a desktop campaign which leads to a page or to the website of the clients, and the landing page doesn't convert very well, or maybe most of the clients just pick up the phone and call, and those calls are not documented automatically. You can't see them in the AdWords system. But if you see the click-to-call figures inside the Google AdWords, it's much easier to interact with the client, and they usually do see the impact of the campaign.
One more thing, when we have an advertiser that don't track results, many of them don't track results, even big businesses, okay? You will be surprised, or you're not already. We offer them a free Google Docs spreadsheet. You know that? You know what it is? We create a spreadsheet that function like a CRM. And we ask them to monitor, document all the incoming leads by hand at that spreadsheet. And many of our businesses do that, and they do that actually for the first time when they start working with us. they need to realize that a business that don't track and document incoming leads, no matter how he got the lead through the website or through the phone, it will be very difficult, first of all, to track those leads and maximize the results out of those leads and phone calls. And of course, to learn the process in order to improve it. What's working and what's not. Imagine an accountant firm that they provide tax consultation service, and they do also the report, the annual financial report, 2 different campaigns, right? Imagine that they don't track leads, and they don't know how many deals or new clients they gain through that from those 2 separated campaigns. They have to document and monitor. There's no shortcut on that matter, and many times when we start working with a new client, we educate him and we teach him how to do that. And sometimes it demands some kind of change, behavioral change, through his human resources. But there's nothing to do. Most of them will appreciate you when you do that. And of course, it will allow you to have a long-term relationship with those clients.
What I want to show you now, if we have a few minutes, is how we work with landing pages, which is a very important factor of the successfulness of the AdWords campaign. And what I want to show you, and I'm sorry it's in Hebrew, but I'll translate the important things for you, is a campaign, and I'm looking at the 30 last days of the campaigns until yesterday. And what we can see here, that they spend around 2,500 shekels, which is about 1,250 Turkish liras. And what you can see, I'll show you the landing page in a second, but what you can see here is the number of conversion of people that filled up the form, which is above 100, and the cost per lead, which is about 10 liras, and the conversion rate, which is almost 12%, and that doesn't include the phone calls that they received. And let me show you the landing page itself.
It's very simple, short.
It's a low-cost company for travel, for tours in the Far East. They have for India, this specific one is for India. I know that the design is not the most magnificent thing that you've seen, but this page with this text, and maybe we'll translate the text in a second, but this form converts 12%, and that doesn't include the phone calls. And they have on each form that is filled, they have about 2 to 3 phone calls. So that means that a lead actually costs them third of the price that we've just seen. And that means that a lead costed them about 4 Turkish liras. And I'll try to translate. Maybe the Google Translate will do a better job than me. But what's written at the top, at the title is, Fly East is the only company that deals only on flights to the Far East. And that's their unique selling point. And I'll show you more landing pages that we made for other destinations. This one is for India, as you'll see here in the top, and as you can see from the pictures. But they also have...
Mind that the conversion rate is 23%?
No, it was 12%, but that doesn't include the phone calls,
Phone
so
calls,
it's
right.
30% even.
Right.
This one is for Thailand. You can see that it's the same structure of the page, but we've put a picture of a beach at the back, and we've changed the picture in the pictures here.
Beach, not beach.
Yes.
Just
And
mention.
and we have another one, which is for Jeep traveling. in Thailand as well. No, oh, that's awful. That's their website. We didn't build it. It is awful. They had another landing page.
They have for the טיסות למזרח. עוד אחד למעלה? למעלה, עד הסוף? תעלה למעלה.
Oh, סוף מזרח.
Maybe they changed it.
They have
Is
another
it-
one.
Yeah.
This one is only for flights, not the whole package. So as you can see, they have several landing pages. We usually try them. We used to do it with, Google Website Optimizer. They just changed it to Google Experiments. It's inside Google Analytics. It enables you to do A/B testing within pages. So we usually try and offer that as an upsell as well. And the main thing that I wanted to show you about these pages is not their design, but their effectiveness. And sometimes if we see bad campaigns or if we meet companies that didn't work well with Google AdWords, the reason for that was that they didn't direct the prospective clients into a good landing page. And that's a key factor for Google AdWords.
One more thing, we made the research and we saw the entire competition. They offer you to purchase the tickets online. Since that specific advertiser is a smaller agency than the competition, we said that we will not mention the price. We'll try not mentioning the price, and we'll just say, we have a team of experts that they will, for sure, will find the best deal for you. So without knowing the price, what actually happened, the users, the potential clients that looking for flying tickets to the Far East, they can't allow themselves not pick up the phone or fill up the form because they have a shortage of knowledge. They don't have the whole picture. They don't have the whole information they need. So we made them actually do the step and fill up the form or pick up the phone. That campaign, that account in general reaches 35–40% conversion, includes phone calls and the forms filled up on the landing page. Guys, any more questions? You want to show something else?
Yeah. Another important thing that we sometimes do in order to convince clients to buy landing pages, and you can do it with howtogomo.com as well. I saw that they showed it at the beginning of the day, but it's just to show your client how his current website looks on mobile devices. And in most cases, if you'll do this, you'll just need to, enter the URL in here. You will see that his website looks awful on mobile devices. And in 2013, most of the traffic through Google is going to come from these devices. And 2013 is just around the corner, and a large percentage of the population is using this device today. So what you need to show them is that their mobile site should be their site should be optimized for mobile devices as well. I can show you mobile.rabariach. One second. I can show you an example of a landing page that we created.
The same door manufacturer.
For the door manufacturers that Mickey bought his door from. And you can see that this website is optimized for mobile devices. They have a click-to-call button at the top. They have this July offer. Sorry? Thanks, Mickey. They have this month offer in here, and they have only 3 buttons because people doesn't want to use too many buttons while they're surfing on their mobile device. And the way that we sold them this landing page or mini site was by just showing them how their current site looks on mobile device. Let's see if it's redirected or not.
No, it's the same.
This is how the website looks on an Apple device, their regular website looks, and you just can't use it. It's not very easy to use, and here they have a huge flash. that is just not working on Apple devices. So we just showed that to the marketing manager of that doors manufacturer, and at the very same minute she said, okay, just build me a website and tell me how much does it cost. And after that, we built a separate campaign dedicated specifically for mobile devices with different ad copy, with different bids, with different A/B testings, because we wanted everything to be optimized for mobile devices. And of course, we charged money for the extra work we did. So it's a win-win situation.
Any more questions? Yes,
Yeah.
please. Can we get a microphone here?
Hi. I believe you have different clients which are on the same businesses. How do you manage their campaigns? Do they compete with each other, or you choose different keywords? What is your strategy of the clients which are on the same sector?
Well, it depends what's the size of the client. If it's a strategic client, for instance, we have a very big client. It's a chain
Crown Plaza.
of hotels. It's
Crown Plaza.
okay. It's Crown Plaza in Israel. Okay, it's 14 hotels. It's one of the biggest chains in Israel. And our agreement with that specific client is not to work with other chain of hotels that compete with them. But if you're working in a bigger field of industry, let's say a lawyer, okay, a law firm that deals with real estate, okay, they won't have this enough budget, so you'll give them exclusivity. So you have to consider what you're going to lose or what you're going to win when you as an SEM company make a decision to give exclusivity or not. But if you provide service to a lawyer and there is another lawyer that competes with that specific lawyer, if you won't manage his campaign, he will go somewhere else and someone else will manage his campaign. He's going to compete on Google AdWords with your advertiser anyhow.
What we usually explain to those small clients is that their budget is limited. For example, they have only 50 Turkish lira a day. So they have a certain number of capacity that they can get and a certain number of fleets that they can get. And if we will add another competitor, there's still enough place for everybody as long as there are enough searches. And what we usually also try to do is try to split it to different campaign managers. Since we have several campaign managers, more than 12, then we don't give the same campaign to the same campaign managers, unless we have, many lawyers in the same vertical, and then someone might manage 2 or 3 together. Okay?
Over there?
Yeah.
Şimdi benim öncelikle iki konuda soru sormak istiyorum. Bu şeylerden önemlisi şu, Türkiye'de çeşitli şekillerde uygulanmakta ama siz müşterilerinize online hizmeti ne şekilde veriyorsunuz? Yani bir arayüz kullanıyor musunuz? Veya direkt AdWords aracılığıyla mı hizmeti veriyorsunuz? Online olarak görmelerini. Bunun haricinde komisyon oranlarından bahsettiniz sunumun başında. İşte 500 euro ile 1000 euro arası %18, %22 gibi. Bunu baştan söylüyorsunuz sanırım. Bir de şunu söylüyorum. En başta şu konuya değindiniz. Yani var olan müşterileri korumak. Var olan müşterileri korumak. Tabii ki kaliteli hizmetin dışında ne yapıyorsunuz? Yani müşterilerinize sürekli bir sunuma gidiyor musunuz? Yapılan araştırmaları, yani çalışmaları sürekli gösteriyor musunuz? Ne büyüklükteki firmalara bunu yapıyorsunuz? Yani ekstrem olarak müşteri görüşmeleriniz ne düzeyde? Bu kapsamda neler yapıyorsunuz? Görüşmenin dışında müşterilerinizi muhafaza etmek adına neler yapıyorsunuz? Bunları öğrenmek isteriz.
I'll start with the last thing, the service. How many meetings we have with each client? It's a great question. Every client have his own service level agreement that we agreed at the beginning. There is the standard contract that designated for the smaller businesses, okay? And we define specifically how many times we meet with that client in a quarter, and so on and so on. So it's a very important thing to do in order to prevent situations that a client that pays you 100 euros a month will demand a meeting every other week. Okay, it's a problem. You won't be able to provide service to other clients, and you want to do that. But the bigger the client is, the more service he gets. And you have to negotiate the service level that you're going to provide to the bigger clients.
We believe mainly in upsells. And if we have interaction with the clients, it answers two things that we need to provide. One, if we have interaction, it's kind of a service, and the client appreciates us for contacting him and suggesting to him how we can do better, how we can give better results. And the second important thing is that we gain more money out of it. And if we see that we try to contact a client several times, every 3 weeks we call him and we tell them, let's try mobile advertising, and he says no. And we say, let's try Google Display Network, and he says no. And we say, let's try remarketing, and he says no. Then we start offering him less upsells and a bit less interaction, because if we just need to optimize the campaign, then the interaction with the client is minimal. The more interaction comes if you give him more services, if you offer him a new kind of advertisement, then you need to have some more interaction with him. But I think that the most important thing that we do is that at the beginning of our work with the clients, we usually call him to our offices and we try to train and explain him what the process is going to be in the future. And we try to educate him. We explain him about the Google Preview tool. We explain to him about the reports, about the invoice. Because as you might know, the invoice comes the day after, and it's the day after the month had finished. And sometimes it's different from the number that you paid or the number that appears in the reports. There is a benchmark. So we explain everything at the beginning about the billing cycle, etc., etc. And then we have less problem with him in the future.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.